I thought you were good, Channon, but you're just another little dirty birdie. Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Carrie, the nosy housefrau, and today I am chomping at the bit. Couldn't wait to stick my nose in this and get this video up today. It's been a long day, but as soon as I woke up this morning, I saw something disheartening, and I kind of did a 180 on the Shannon Mango situation. I'll get to why. But here's how it started. Last night, Shannon posted a picture on Twitter that says, "He's outside my house, RN," which at first I admit I thought was registered nurse. I think she means right now. And of course, everybody's worried about her. What happened? What? He's outside your house? What? And then he posts that one of Shannon's fans took a picture of him in West Hollywood, and now she's using that to make him look like he's stalking. This was a big mistake on both of their parts. Because, as is the case with a lot of what I'm finding wrong with this, is that they can't both be right. Although Shannon didn't take the time to explain the outside my house picture, she did take to Twitter again at 12:42, probably long after she had edited their collab video, and said, "Oh my God, so much has happened in the last 24 hours that has left me shocked and so overwhelmed. I will be sure to catch you all up in a video tomorrow, and after that I can promise you no more videos about this drama. This will be the last video about it. I'm sorry all this is public." If the picture didn't make me suspicious, the "I'm sorry all this is public" line did, because whenever somebody says that, it's because now they're going to play this card that a lot of things should be private. After everything else in their life is public, the facts they can't explain are conveniently things that need to be kept private. Today, a day later, Shannon posted that he was at her house for an arranged meeting with the lawyer. The picture I posted from yesterday of Stephen outside my house was because we were mediating in person, which was set up by my lawyers. He got a lot of hate saying that he was stalking me, and so he said that he wasn't in front of my house. Hope that clears that up. He has since deleted that picture. We actually sat down after the mediation and apologized on camera as well, and he comes clean about exposing me, and we apologize publicly since this has become so public. Video will be up later today. I was immediately angry with this for a few reasons. Number one, there was no reason for her to delay telling people why he was in front of her house. That was far worse than clickbait, which I'm not a fan of clickbait anyway, but this goes beyond that. People were worried about her. People thought he was stalking her. Did she not think he would get hate for that? That makes no sense that she would do that to him, and it really makes no sense that because of that hate he was getting, he would feel a need to make up a lie and then delete it. What a great guy. The fact that neither of them could explain that picture, both of them posted that picture with a lie, that absolutely suggests that they wanted there to be suspense for that picture, and they are in cahoots. So right there you have the picture being a problem, but then something else that didn't sit well with me was the lawyers. All of a sudden, immediately, the lawyers are traveling to her house or wherever they're from. You're telling me you can get lawyers to your house faster than a pizza? All of this came up in the blink of an eye. In the morning, she's uploading, talking about how she has to go to the house and work on this and that, and then he's in front of my house. And I thought, how can he be in front of your house when you're staying with your mother? That's how immediately I was suspicious last night. She's staying with her mother. She says he's in front of her house. And I thought, don't tell me you're doing this to sensationalize what's going on. And sure enough, that's exactly what they did. This was my first response to Shannon this morning after reading her tweet, hoping to clear everything up. You hope that clears things up? That's clear as mud. You don't think it looked like you were concerned for your safety when you posted that image of him outside? Now the reality was it was arranged? Come on, Shannon. I'm disappointed that you would insult people this way. Shake my head. The worst part for me, I think, was when Shannon was asked the tough questions and just decided to create this narrative that anyone who was giving her a hard time were just people who couldn't be pleased. She gaslit everyone. You shouldn't post your drama publicly. This should be worked out in private. Me. works out our drama that went public privately, then announces we worked it out in private. Everyone fake. That is completely illogical. And here was my response. That is a gross oversimplification of why you have been called out on your deception. You're really going to sweep that stalker photo under the rug and then be self-righteous? Okay. P.S. Your husband is a germaphobe, but you let people put their ass on your kitchen island? I have to say, Shannon blocked a lot of people today, and for a lot less than that. And I'm sure it would be considered grandiose of me to say, blah, 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 I can just hear it all now. But in fact, I sort of suspect, with my newfound well-warranted paranoia, that she probably would have blocked me, but knew I was going to talk about her today. That's just a hunch. I could be wrong. We'll check tomorrow. Before long, Shannon had uploaded this to Instagram.
I just want to say that I'm sorry if the picture that I posted yesterday of Steven outside my house made people think that he was stalking me. That was not my intention. My intention was to let you guys know that he was outside my house. Like, we're talking, we're mediating. Our lawyers got us to mediate. And we worked everything out privately, and we made the decision to publicly announce that we worked everything out privately. And I think people are thinking, bless you, baby, that this was like fake and made up. That's definitely not the case. My address was leaked. I had private emails leaked. There were a lot of mean things said about me. So that's definitely not the case. But I think people are upset that like we made up.
See how it's everyone else's fault? Everybody wants a pound of flesh. It couldn't be that you've been public about this for days and now all of a sudden you're going to be vague, saying that all we're doing is publicly saying that we handled everything private. What? We're walking like we're talking? I don't think so. Shannon did go on to say that although they are not friends, they did settle their differences, mostly in private. Again, very important that this be in private, even though everything else in your life is online, and this whole saga has unfolded online. For some reason, now in the interest of propriety, most of this needs to be handled privately. And that, of course, are the things they can't answer. They both put up a video at the same time. Hers was in the description as part 1 with a link to his as part 2. This is every bit the collab he could have hoped for, and then some. So in her video, which I watched all the way through, I waited to hear certain things about Venmo and about the texts, and I wanted to hear how they resolved this conflict. But at one point they say, there's a lot you don't know because we would just be here all day and it would just take so long, and we just know that we understand what happened, etc. When his video started, and I only clicked on the beginning of his video, he says in the previous video, because he's recapping this all professionally, it's all formatted, pre-planned, everything he's saying is designed to get views and build a channel. It was thirsty. So he's like, this and this happened, and you can go and watch hers in the description, and here's mine, and in the last video, we explained the Venmo, and we explained the text. I stopped watching. After that, because in the video of hers, they did not explain those things. They glossed over them, and that's a huge difference. If you are going to explain things to people, you have to do it head on, truthfully, and concisely. What they did say was that he sent the Venmo to the wrong person. They kept driving home what a miscommunication everything was, and he, sent the Venmo to the wrong person. Shannon then hands him $400, and he's like, what? No. And she's like, yes, I want you to have this because there's no way I would have let you pay for this, yada, yada. And she hands him $400, which, as far as we know, he took happily, even though supposedly he sent the Venmo to the wrong person. Now, Randi Savage and I have been talking a lot this last week, and as we were kind of spitballing back and forth on Twitter, I want to thank Randi again so much for all of her help and receipts, but we were talking, and as we're talking, it comes out, he was complaining about the old picture, and I said, I think he uses old pictures all the time, and she's like, you know what? I think he did, and she went in her archives and found a clip or something. Somehow she found it that same picture he said couldn't have been on Venmo was on his Twitter in 2018, the picture from 2011. So he uses old pictures all the time. I knew that was true, but how did he send it to the wrong person? Because his account that he said wasn't his, even though he never showed his real account, that account was friends with Shannon. And very quickly, Randy and I went on, we got Venmo going. I started a Venmo account and I friend requested her. And it turns out somebody has to accept your friend request, just like on Facebook. You're not friends until somebody accepts. So so we knew that there's no way he and Shannon Rose would be friends if he wasn't the real Stephen Mango, because why would she friend two of them? So just to review, in case that's confusing, which I can understand how it would be, he sent Venmo to the wrong person, and apparently Shannon has no interest in knowing who the other Shannon Rose is. Who did he send it to? We don't know. And how does she have the wrong Stephen Mango as her friend? She's friends with the wrong Stephen Mango, and he sent money to the wrong Shannon Rose. Are you starting to get suspicious? And now we get to the part that bothered me more than the Venmo gap. You know, I had a lot on my mind. I believe I paid attention to her video. I watched a lot of it twice so that I could look for this. I looked and looked and looked. I did not hear them address the text. When they started to talk about the texts is when he said there's a lot you don't know. His hands were, he started gesticulating wildly when he got to this part, which I thought was very telling. You know, there's a lot you don't know. There's a lot we figured out behind the scenes, etc. They never explain how he faked those texts. Whose texts were real? Remember she said he completely fabricated these texts? Remember he said she's lying and they were all real? Who's lying? They both said they just kind of miscommunicated. They kept driving home a miscommunication. I'm sorry. Somebody entirely making up a conversation that didn't happen is not a miscommunication. It's a big fat lie. So the fact that you're saying we worked this out, that doesn't even make sense to me. If this guy had done all of this to you, do you see yourself going, oh, I'm just relieved we're not fighting anymore? Heck no, you'd probably escalate and say, you dragged my name through the mud and none of it was real. I want you to tell people that those texts were fake. That's what anybody would say if they had been lied about. But she was all of a sudden happy to sweep it under the rug with the $400 consolation prize. So here are my summarized thoughts on this. I felt a little silly this morning when I saw what I consider empirical evidence that Shannon has not been completely truthful in this situation. I don't know how much of it is staged. I really don't. I am a proponent of not saying something is a fact without the bold evidence that backs up the bold claim. I feel confident saying that she has not been 100% truthful. And somewhere along the line, I believe this became a collaboration. It certainly appears that way to me today. However, I have followed Shannon for a long time, so I'm not really going to beat myself up too much. I like to think that I'm jaded and aware, and I don't like to be wrong about people. The last time I was this wrong about a person was Mango. I can't even believe it myself. I'm like, what the heck? I'm smacking my forehead. I don't know the whole story here, and I probably never will know. But I am not going to feel bad that I gave somebody the benefit of the doubt. I really like to think I'm a good judge of character. It's funny because Roxana, my friend, Metamorphosis Rox, is always telling me I'm a good judge of character, and sometimes I get it wrong. If Shannon is not on some level in on this, then she is the biggest chump, because look at how this guy worked his way and weaseled his way into her house. He is such a weasel. I really feel that so much of this is fake, and gotta give credit, hats off to Martin Lewis, because he said this all along. And think about it, if this guy had done to you what he supposedly did to Shannon, would he be in your house where your child is after, the other thing I wanted to point out was that Shannon had said that this couldn't be faked because she was doxxed. Well, there's no evidence that Mango had anything to do with that. That doesn't prove that this wasn't staged. Maybe that was something that happened that neither one of them could foresee. I don't like when people act like this is solid evidence when it's clearly not. Mango did, as far as we know, leave that doxing up for a while. If he had done any of those things to anybody else, would he be in your house? Would anybody else have him in their house, sitting that close to you, mirroring your body language? I just didn't like that. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, speaking of body language, Mango interrupted her a lot. And at one point, it was so uncomfortable for me because have you ever had somebody interrupt you by putting their hand on you? He puts his hand practically in her lap to interrupt her. That's when she should have said, "You do that again, you will pull back a bloody stump." I will leave you with this uplifting note before we put this all behind us. There was one person in Shannon's house who was a very good judge of character, better than all of us probably.
This sort of stuff goes down just in like my experience with like being a drama channel and that sort of stuff. People in your position, like a YouTuber with so many subscribers, would block me, would, serve me with a lawsuit and then just be done.
For instance, people thought like, oh, he's such a stalker, like.
And clearly, guys, I'm not some crazy psycho because if I was like really like just
that crazy.
I have some encore thoughts from Kaya and myself. I hope the cat cracked you up like it did me. I wanted to convey that it didn't take me long to see the silver lining in this. When I woke up, it kind of threw me for a little loop. There was a slight feeling of betrayal and feeling a little bit like I had egg on my face. But then I reminded myself quickly that it's normal to feel that you've made a mistake as long as it's something you can live with and you didn't compromise your moral compass. It's really not that big of a deal. And also, I have to admit, good things came out of this for me. That is the silver lining. Those two are bleeding subs. I can't possibly gain as many as they're losing, but I have to admit I did gain subs from this. I did gain views from this. So as drama goes, this was lucrative for me, you could say. I did not monetize my first video deliberately because I felt that Shannon needed proper defending and I wanted to use all the clips I wanted to use and speak the way I wanted to speak. So I knew that that would not be a monetizable video, and that's fine. But the rest of it was monetized, and I think when you put Shannon's name in your video, at first you have to request a review, because that's never happened to me before. I don't know what caused it. But anyway, I met a lot of people. I had new people come to my channel, and I've engaged with my older viewers, and we all had a laugh together, and that's a positive thing. Also, some of the comments you leave me are so intelligent that I don't always feel deserving. I know that's like a little extra humble pie, but I don't want to be like Mango and be like, my channel just blew up overnight. Who is Carrie? He actually said that once. Who is Mango? So, I always want to maintain that. And I promise you this. I may not always be right, but I'll always be real. Even if I have to live in this crumbling gray gardens that needs a new roof, that's better than living in a beach house where I have to lie to keep myself into the lifestyle to which I have become accustomed. I won't let that happen. Well, if you've listened this far, I so appreciate you. Thank you. Newcomers, please do consider hitting the like and subscribe button. It will help me live well, much to the chagrin of my growing enemies. And it will keep Kaya in kibble. Also, do you know how much Mango footage I sat through for this?